Hi, everybody. Whoa, I hear myself. Wait a minute. I turn it down. Now we're good. That was like a double whammy. I can hear myself. Weather extra. Wah cha 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 cha. I still don't know why I do that. It's a little weird. All right, I'm happy to let everybody know that whatever tornado watches we had for Middle Tennessee are now canceled, which was expected. I didn't think they would go till 10 o'clock. In fact, everything is now north. Like when you look at the radar, which you can see with me while I'm talking to you, which is really cool. There's some ground clutter over by the high top radar. That's not really rain. There's some showers trying to work through Albertville and Gunnersville right now. There could be a shower in that ground clutter, but it's hard to tell. But this is not severe weather, and I think we're good for tonight. There are still some severe storms up towards the Nashville area. Had a couple people, I don't know what, I had this like rush of people that is telling me that they're flying out of Nashville tomorrow. And I was like, oh, really? And it wasn't just like one person. It was like 6 people. They were like, what's it up in Nashville? Well, driving up to Nashville, that's where the storms are now bringing some stronger storms in Nashville. Now, I think there's a window tomorrow morning. So if you are one of those people flying to Nashville to fly out tomorrow or driving to Nashville to fly out tomorrow, you should be good to go. And then more storms come back in the afternoon, just so you know. But we get a nice little break here the rest of the night, which is good. Maya, or Mia, I hope it's Maya. She says it's raining in Arab, and that would be that one little shower that you see right there by Albertville, which I just was talking about. It's a very light little shower. That's all it is. Areas that are east of I-65 haven't had to deal with much the last couple of days. Areas like northwest Alabama, middle Tennessee, it feels like you have been on the cusp of like strong or severe storms, and it's been really close. But overall, big picture is we really did catch a break in the Tennessee Valley yesterday, today, and we'll catch a break tomorrow because that frontal boundary is going to be off to our west. It has not moved. So areas like Arkansas, Louisiana, Texas, western Tennessee, western Kentucky, Illinois, for the third straight day, they're like in an enhanced severe weather area again. Like it just gets to the point now where it's like, you know, they're probably like waving the white flag. Like, come on, seriously. And it's not just like pop-up, spin-up tornadoes. It's these long-tracked tornadoes. And knowing exactly how strong they've been, National Weather Service usually conducts surveys. Hard for them to conduct surveys when every single day they have to be at the National Weather Service office because they're watching severe weather. So, I mean, I think I saw one report today. There was a storm near Memphis that they did go survey, and it was an EF3. But I mean, we're not even getting like the data in yet to know how strong these storms are because they just can't go. Their hands are tied. They can't go anywhere to go do the surveys because it's just so busy. It's ridiculous. They haven't stopped. And we will get a little taste of some more widespread severe weather in here this weekend. Still on the fence of how strong the storms will be here for Saturday night into Sunday. I'll go through the model with you and just show you. Looks like it's kind of like a real good push at first, and then as the storms move east, they'll weaken and become just a big rain event, but I'll time it out for you coming up here. And I will show you what I'm looking at. And there's a question. Hi, Christine Tinker. Good to see you on. And I hope I'm saying, Maya, I've talked to you before, and I'm pretty sure it's Maya, and I hope I'm saying that right. If I'm not, tell me I'm a big jerk and say, no, it's Mia, but I'm pretty sure it's Maya. What time Saturday night and Sunday? I will address that right now. But after 5 p.m. Saturday, through the overnight, into Sunday, and the rain looks like it will linger into Sunday afternoon with cooler temperatures. So Saturday is your better day to be outside during the day, and then keep an eye to the sky and the radar as we go into the evening hours. It starts west and then moves east, so if you're like in Sand Mountain or Lookout Mountain on Saturday, it doesn't come to you until like almost like 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock at night. But areas west will get it on at first about 5 or 6. Kayla, what time Saturday is going to come in Saturday? I'm trying to ride horses Saturday. You can ride horses almost the entire day. You might get really tired by the time the rain gets here because it comes in after like 5 o'clock. In fact, because this radar is boring. There's your front. It's just going to stay to the west for another 24 to almost 48 hours. It doesn't make its jaunt south until we get to Saturday afternoon and evening, okay? So we got one more day. There's a slight chance of a storm tomorrow. Very isolated, doesn't look to be severe, but our better chance or higher chance of rain will come this weekend. So I went mostly cloudy now. I took the storms out, and I wasn't really a big fan of them sticking around. We did have a storm earlier. It prompted a tornado warning for western Lauderdale County, and the sirens went off all county, eastern Lauderdale County, had the sirens go off, and it was like the storm was literally by Waterloo. There was some trees down by County Road 3. It's a dirt road. EMA officials letting us know they're fixing those, and they're trying to get it cleaned up. And then there was a 48-mile-per-hour wind gust in Killen, I do believe, with one of the storms that wasn't severe. It wasn't a warned storm. Let me see here. I wish it would rain in Scottsboro, Bridget says. We're roasting. It's been really warm. Let's talk about that for just a minute right there, Amber, as I switch the graphics to tomorrow. We're going to do it again tomorrow. We're in the mid to upper 80s, and it's been record-setting warmth in the Shoals the last 2 days. Tied a record each day. Huntsville did not. They're the only two places that we actually keep records, but it's been very toasty in Scottsboro, too. You won't get rain probably until Saturday, and you have 2 more warm days to get through. Dean says the EF3 was in Lake City, Arkansas, and Selma, Tennessee. You got it. That is the one. And it was 160 and 150 miles per hour. Think about that for just a moment. EF3s are really strong, obviously. And that is the case. Watching from Fort Payne. I appreciate that, Adam. Thank you for watching, my friend. There's your forecast for Friday. A little clouds in the morning. Give it time. Clear it out. Get some sun. Really warm. Not all that breezy, but a little bit of a breeze out of the south. And temperatures mid to upper 80s. Outside chance for another daily high temperature record in the Shoals and in Huntsville tomorrow as well. It's crazy. Crazy warmth. Feels like summer outside right now if you go outside. Kayla's going to ride she gets to ride the horse all day long. Good for you. That's good, Kayla. Good stuff. Says the poor people have been getting pounded the last 2 days with severe weather. It is. It's very sad. Somebody asked me, it was a great question on Facebook earlier. They said, have you ever seen a situation where you've had this like drawn out 3-day event where every single day was severe weather for a particular area? And I actually did where I worked. When I forecast one time, I was in Cheyenne, Wyoming, and we had 4 straight days with some kind of tornado warning. And it was like a Tuesday through Friday. And by the time I got to Friday, it was like, where I should have had more urgency. I was like, yeah, another tornado warning. Yeah, here we go. And out there, it's right. It's like, here we go again. Kate's in the house. And like out there though, like you could have an EF3 and it would be literally in this middle of this farm, and everybody would be just staring at it because you could see for miles, But no injuries with all those tornado days out there when I was there. So I've seen this setup before where it's been like one after another. But so there's your 3-day pop-up storm tomorrow. I don't think it's widespread. I don't think there's severe weather tomorrow. We keep an eye on Saturday and Sunday. I would imagine we'll issue a 48 first alert tomorrow. I do believe Eric's going to probably make that call tomorrow morning for Saturday. Even though there'll be some storms, it's more like a night event again, those night events. We don't have 48 first alert weather nights, so we pick Saturday. We pick the day it arrives and not the day it ends. Yeah, isn't that interesting? Things you learn with Jeff Desnoyers during Weather Extra. That's right. I love it. All right, Molly says, when are we going to get some frost and freeze in the Henniger area? Well, Molly, it's funny you say that because I'm going to fast forward to the 10-day forecast, and I'm going to answer that question right away because notice the temperature drop on that 3-day. 80s Saturday, 60s on Sunday. Big drop, right? It's going to get even cooler, right? It's going to drop into the maybe 50s on Monday, and there's Monday night and Tuesday night will be the target time for some really cold temperatures. I will show you the 10-day, I promise, in just a moment. But here's the timeline for the weekend. This is Saturday at 8 a.m. Storms well off to our west and not really impacting us. In fact, we'll pop a lot of sunshine throughout the day. But while we're enjoying that sunshine, everything's developing off to the west. I stopped it at 2, and I'm going to stop it at 5. This is the time that I think that we're going to have the potential to reach the peak severe weather that night. And it will be for areas west, closest to the Alabama-Mississippi line. That initial line will likely weaken and become just a big rain event with some 40-mile-an-hour wind gust. Not quite done yet. There's one more line that has to push through overnight. By the time we get to Sunday morning, that line is broken, but there's still probably some gusty winds and heavy rain. It's still organizing as we go into Sunday morning and brings a big old rain event for areas like Sand Mountain and Lookout Mountain through about 8, 9 in the morning. And that rainfall will eventually move east and cross the Georgia state line by 5 p.m. on Sunday. So we focus on the tornadoes and the severe weather, and I get it, and it's the most important part. But this could have potential to be a real, true soaking rainfall this weekend. Some of you saying, when am I going to get rain again? Like Scottsboro, you're going to get your rain this weekend, most likely. And models spitting out about 2 to 3 inches of rainfall. It's been a really wet stretch for the last 30 days. So there's your 10-day forecast. Once you get past the weekend, it is feet up on the desk for meteorologists and kick back and relax. Monday through Friday looks good. Talked about the potential for some frost and freeze as we were looking out towards wanting that in Henniger, Molly. And there's your 37 Monday night and 36 Tuesday night, which means your Tuesday morning and Wednesday morning, there will certainly be a chill in the air, which leads me into the whole gardening thing. Everybody asking me, can I put something in the garden? I always say wait to tax day. The traditional tax day is April 15th, right? You could be crazy and let your hair down, put something in the garden, and you go, all right, but you might have to like cover it up on Monday or Tuesday and Wednesday morning. Because a 37, 36 on our 10-day forecast means like a 32 in Henniger, just so you know. It's always a little colder for you, right? Provided that we stay clear, and I think we will. Adam says it's been feeling like summer the past few days, and night temps have been great. It's been really warm, right? A little humid, too. Kayla says she saw some pictures of damage. Where did you see those pictures of damage? We do know that there was some trees down on County Road 3, and there were some gusty winds and killing about 40 miles an hour. I didn't see any pictures, so. Tori says, what about southern middle Tennessee? Tori, what particular time frame are you talking about? Tonight, tomorrow, the weekend? If you're talking about tonight, it's just cloudy. The storms are mainly north now, and they're not going to impact the area tonight. Dwayne says, hello, Jeff. Pulaski was fine again. Yep, it was. I appreciate you talking to me, my friend. And you said earlier, like, you could ask me questions anytime on my Facebook page. I always answer you back. I appreciate the conversation back and forth. And, yeah, I felt like you were going to be okay in Giles County again. We had that one cell pop in, like, western Lauderdale County, and then we kept an eye on things in Lawrence County as well. But, yeah, Giles County, everything kind of west and north of you. Kayla says it feels amazing outside, and thank you for saying my name correctly. Usually people say it wrong. Well, that might be a first for me because I'm usually the one that butchers everybody's name. So you're welcome. I get my own name wrong. My name's Jeff. It's really easy, but I get it wrong all the time. When do I need to go to the storm pit? That would probably be Saturday night. I don't know exactly where you live, Maya, but yeah, you know, you probably would seek shelter Saturday evening when the storms first approach. Again, if you live east of 65, it might play down to be just mainly a rain event. But obviously what I would do, since it's only Thursday and the storms are Saturday evening, it's 48 hours away, keep up to date on the timing of it. Sometimes the fronts come in a little faster, they slow down, and that can throw off the timing a little bit. It did that to me a couple of nights ago. I think I was working Sunday and it did that to me. And I had the timing all wrong at night, and I was very upset with myself. I couldn't look at myself in the mirror on Monday morning. I was so disappointed. I'm idle in the weather world. I applied to go back to school. What? No. What? Did you just write to me, Kaylee? Okay, I don't even know. I feel almost awkward reading this, but she says, you are my idol in the weather world. Oh my gosh. That might be a first for me, I promise you. But she says she applied to go back to school at Mississippi State to go into geoscience. Wow. Ah! Well done. Well done. Love it, because that's where I graduated. I'm an MSU grad. Amazing. Yeah, and dogs. I did the same program, and it works. In fact, I went back to school in my 30s, and I actually took it a lot more serious than when I went to college the first time, because I tried to play baseball my first time, and all I cared about was being a professional baseball player. So my classes didn't do really well the first time around. But when I got older, I started to absorb more, and it worked out well. You'd probably want to stay there as long as the severe weather was happening, I would imagine. Yep. You wouldn't want to come out of the shelter if there were still strong storms. Chrissy says, hey, Cheyenne, Fort Collins. Hey, I love Fort Collins. It's a great place to go. I had some good nights in Fort Collins. It's a good place to go. And so beautiful. Northern Colorado. You know, an interesting fact, Fort Collins, Colorado is the biggest area that doesn't have a TV market. Whoa. Things that blow your mind. Things you learn with Jeff Desnoyers. Right? So they are covered by Denver, and Fort Collins is big enough they could have their own market in between Cheyenne and Denver, but they don't. We used to cover them in Cheyenne. We had a special Northern Colorado graphic for 10 days. Another weird little thing for you too. My family lives in Worland, Wyoming, which is on the Montana state line. If you know how big those states are, they're really big. Wyoming, Colorado. You know the Denver market, technically one of their counties in their DMA is up in Worland in northern Wyoming on the Montana state line. And I promise you there's not one reporter from Denver ever going to Montana, which is like a 12-hour drive to do a story.
No.
Yeah, not going to happen. Oh, Maya, that's right, Maya, you're in ARAB. Yeah, I think by the time the storms get to ARAB, Maya, I really think on Saturday they're going to be mainly more rain and some gusty winds. But again, I would keep up with updates tomorrow. Still a long way off and still a few question marks. Dean says, ready to play some golf Saturday morning. You got that. It's a good Saturday morning would be beautiful. Dwayne, I thought it's too early to ask about Saturday for Pulaski. Oh, you can ask? Dude, I got you back, bro. You're all right. Talk to me. In Jeffrey Trust. That's scary. Olivia says, is Nashville good tonight? My husband has to go to the airport. Really? That's crazy. You're like the 8th person that's going to the airport in Nashville or knows somebody that is. There are. Nashville's a popular place. Go Titans. They stink. There's still some storms in Nashville tonight. The storms are north of us, but Nashville still has some storms. In fact, there was a stronger storm near Nashville just moments ago. So I think that storm threat for Nashville will weaken and back off a bit tonight, but then come back again tomorrow. So I don't know when your husband has to go to the airport, but if going tonight, I don't think there should be any issues. Good question, Tyler. Did a tornado touch down in Waterloo? I don't know yet. Won't know until the National Weather Service confirms it if they go do a storm survey tomorrow, and I don't know if they're going to. Indication on the radar seemed like there was something going on, but certainly some wind damage for sure. Don't know if we have a confirmed tornado yet. At least I have not heard anything from the National Weather Service. Molly says, I love when y'all do the Facebook and YouTube tracking the strong storms. Well, you are very kind to say that, Molly. That is very sweet. I appreciate it. Hannah, I live on the east side of 65 Morgan County, Falkland, Neva. I don't know the matter in Morgan County as a whole is considered west or something. Yeah, I don't get caught up on the whole west thing. So if you look at a map, are you closer to the Mississippi-Alabama state line? Not really, right? So Mississippi-Alabama state line would have the stronger storms. That would be west. And then as they move east, they will weaken a bit.
Someone said you should run for governor.
That's scary. And as they move east, they'll weaken. So by the time they get to you, maybe not have the same oomph, but it is 48 hours out, and I would probably want to wait till I got some more forecast model runs to completely slam that down and say, you got nothing coming your way, because you're going to have rain, you're going to have wind. It's just, how strong will they be? Rendon says no to the tornado. And Jeff, we trust. Rendon is the one who sent me that great picture of the Central Heights, the one that they were asking me if they can use on it. Yeah,
that was really great.
Yeah, it was a good picture, and you did it safely too, so that's really cool. Dwayne says, do we see a big tornado problem Saturday? Still on the fence about that. That's the tricky question. Again, areas west, like Mississippi-Alabama state line, would probably have to be watched closer. But for now, we'll say all forms of severe weather on the table until we get a little bit closer to the day. I'm hoping this plays out as a big rain event, but of course I wanted that to happen the last time, and we had like 7 inches of rain in the shoals and caused flash flooding. So you want it not to be severe. You don't really want any adversity, right? Whether it's rain, wind, or whatever. Wonder if Morgan Wallen threw another chair. That's funny. I'm not going to read that one, but that's good. Kayla says, you think Hazel Green going to be bad like tornado? I live in Speak area, but my son will be out that way. Kayla, if you're talking about Saturday and Sunday, again, I'm not exactly sure how it's going to play out in terms of tornadoes, but certainly there's a chance for severe weather, and I'd say right now all forms of severe weather on the table until we get closer to that day. Chase, you think I have a chance? Would you vote for me, Kate?
I would vote.
Oh, I appreciate that.
I would vote for you, Jeff.
I don't know about that. That's kind of scary. That means I'd have to actually work. Adam says, I bet we'll be cooking this summer since spring is already this warm. Very well could be. You know it's going to be hot and humid. That is one thing you can guarantee in the weather world in summertime in North Alabama, Middle Tennessee is going to be hot and humid, right? Just how hot and how humid is it going to be? Dun, 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 dun. Sorry.
We need to
Dramatic
back
music.
here.
What time is it, by the way?
It is 9:51.
Oh my gosh, it's almost that time. I got to
Almost
go.
crunch time.
I got to go.
Yeah.
Hi, Vacation Valerie. You just got off work. You got to get some sleep. VV, Vacation Valerie, you have been working way too hard. So hard that I can't even keep
Call her
track.
Vacation Valerie. Ooh.
Yeah, Vacation Valerie, because you know why? Because she takes vacations. It all makes sense to me here, everybody. Yes, it does. I think it's more of a wind and rain event. Thank you, Chase. I appreciate you chiming in there, my friend. And Dwayne, thank you. I think you're awesome too. I appreciate that. It's really cool of you to say. And you know,
In the comments. I love it.
it's all good. Dalton says, weather question, trying to learn the radar. No, where'd that question go? No, come back to me. What's the difference between storm relative velocity and base velocity? That's a great question. Both are used to essentially find wind in different ways. You can use both, and the numbers usually aren't different. But like I used it tonight to see where some of the winds were. I used the relative velocity tonight. I think it just worked better with the situation that I had where I could see where some of the winds were. That's how I knew there was some gusty winds in Killen in the shoals when I was on air. I did the little eyedropper thing. I
8 minutes.
know.
Like I can't leave.
The fire. Heather says the fireflies are confused.
Oh.
I'm confused too. I get it. It's very warm. I mean, when you're setting daily high temperature records in the shoals the past 2 days, it gets pretty crazy, and that's where we're at, right? I want to go on vacation. Kayla, meet Vacation Valerie. Vacation Valerie goes on vacation. Y'all can hang out. It'd be good.
Vacation Valerie said she needs a vacation.
Of course she does. I know she's working. She's been working really hard. So Vacation Valerie does taxes. So this is her very busy season. She did my taxes
I
too.
can imagine.
She did my taxes as well.
It's a tough job.
You're welcome for the update, Adam. Kayla, you take that vacation. Chase says, I got to hold it down the shoals out here. Yeah, I love the shoals. I think I caught up. Good night, good night, good night. Got to the end of the comments and still have 7 minutes to spare.
Awesome.
So just a heads up, y'all, I have to go do this little weather stuff on TV at 10 o'clock. And I'm happy to say I don't have, last night I stayed here in the studio until 3:30 in the morning. The storms, there was a line of storms from Nashville to Memphis, and they all had tornado warnings on them. And I wasn't really too concerned about them diving south. They were mainly going to stay north and west. But you know, as soon as I walked out that door at 1 o'clock, one of those storms was going to slip south, and I was going to have to jump all the way back in here and go on air. So I just stayed and stayed and stayed, watched them all really come close. They were like sticking their tongue out. I was like, but they stayed north, and that was good news for us, bad news for areas to the north, right? I don't have to do that tonight. I feel very confident that when this show gets over, the newscast, I can go home and I don't have to look at the radar when I go home because I think we'll be all right, okay? Eric Burke will be back tomorrow morning, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed at 4:30 in the morning. He'll have the very latest for you on the potential for the storms for the weekend. Probably issue a 48 first alert day for Saturday, meaning the storms affecting us Saturday night. Chelsea is in for Brad tomorrow night. She'll continue to follow up on what's going to happen for the weekend. And then it's Chelsea and myself this weekend. Me mornings, Chelsea nights for Saturday and Sunday. And we will keep you in the loop on how it's all going to play out. And I got to go. I got to run. For an old man like me, it's a long walk to that studio. It takes me a really long time. So have a good night, everybody. Bye. Kate says bye, too.
Bye.
Good night.